I'm Keith Sanders, Chapter Education Chair and Silver Circle inductee from the class of 2017. I'm proud to recognize 5 college students from our chapter who won scholarships in 2020, a challenging year for all students because of the COVID-19 shelter in place. But I recently got the opportunity to talk to each student, so we're going to hear from them and see some of their winning entry. The $3,000 Rigo Chacon Scholarship goes to Austin Castro, San Francisco State University. Tell me what this $3,000 scholarship means to you.
Just to get this kind of recognition and get this kind of award is so mind-blowing to me, and I could not be more grateful to receive it. I'm hoping to continue my work with San Francisco State through our BECA program, and also just kind of perfecting my craft to do the best work I can, put in the long hours, and continue the work that I think really helped me achieve this scholarship. I know it's really tough with the pandemic and with everything that COVID has really hit us with, but I think that with this scholarship, it shows that you have to keep pushing. I'm not going to let this pandemic stop me. I'm going to continue working at my craft, continue doing the work that I absolutely love in news. And I am so grateful to everyone in the scholarship committee for this prize. And I can tell you that my family was freaking out when they found out the news, and we all could not be more grateful for this.
Hey Tayo fam, I'm Austin Castro.
And I'm Kelly DeLeon.
And today we're taking you to Six Flags Discovery Kingdom for Fright Fest.
It's going on from now until November 2nd. So if you guys love to be scared, they have tons of different haunted houses and scare zones.
Yeah, and we're taking you behind the scenes of what it's like to go through the mazes and how they put all of this together.
Right behind us is Nightmare Manor, and we're going to take you guys along with us. So are you ready to be spooked?
Wish us luck. We're going to need it. Oh my God. This is great. I think you guys should really, you really should check this out. Okay. It's not so bad. Ah! No!
You gotta leave the base!
It's great. Love Fright Fest. Oh no! God. You in your piece? This is great. If you don't look at them, it'll be fine. Oh no! You should clean that up. That's a little messy. We made it.
Yay!
Great job. Right now we are backstage here at Discovery Kingdom getting transformed into, which character is this again?
You are a spider victim.
A spider victim.
Oh my God, I'm kind of giving myself goosebumps. But I love it. It looks so good. Thank you. I can't wait to show my mom.
See, I see no difference. Honestly, this is how I feel in the morning. But wow, that is insane.
Okay, so we just got done with our hair and our makeup and our costume.
Yeah.
And I think I look pretty good.
I know, I feel pretty great about it, and I think we're just about ready to head out there.
Yes, so it's time to go scare people.
Okay, I have to say being a scare actor is way harder than it looks, but it's something everyone should try at least once in their life.
Yes, I definitely have a lot of appreciation for them because it's so hard not to laugh or smile when you're scaring other people.
So for Tayo, I'm Austin.
And I'm Kelly.
And we will see all of you next time.
Bye.
One of the things that we've had a challenge with sometimes is actually getting the message out. And I'm just wondering, how did you hear about the 2020 scholarship opportunity?
So I originally heard about the scholarship opportunity through our BECA program, the Broadcast and Electronic Communication Arts Department at San Francisco State. the Becca department does such a great job pushing out different opportunities, workshops, different things that students in the broadcasting field should check out. And what we have is this newsletter called our Becca Blast. And so our department pushed it out, let us know that not only this available, but the scholarship deadline got pushed out. And so I thought, like, what a great opportunity to apply for. So took some time, applied for it. I thought the application process was fairly straightforward, but I thought it was very exciting to get to apply for this because I find it very almost challenging to find scholarships that relate specifically to reporting and journalism. So when I saw this, I knew I had to jump at it. So I really have to thank our Becca department and our Becca Blast newsletter for letting me know about this opportunity.
Hey everyone, I'm Austin Castro.
And I'm Kelly DeLeon.
And right now we are at Undiscovered SF for the Season 3 opener.
We're in San Francisco's newest cultural district, Soma, Filipinas.
There's so much awesome stuff for us to check out. I think it's time for us to go explore.
Let's go!
This event is really meaningful to me because this is actually my first home, my neighborhood, you know, Soma forever. So it's really meaningful to see years later celebrating this event with like this new generation.
I see you brought the flag. Why did you bring the flag for?
I want to show my Filipino pride to not just for myself, but for everyone here, because sometimes it's very important to like show that you have to value your own Filipino just like myself.
My favorite is the pagkain. Of course, the food, everything is just amazing. And of course, being around all my Filipino people, that's the best thing here. This is just a way to also, for me, support the community and what the Undiscovered team has put together. I'm just in awe of how much talent we have as a community.
We had such a blast here at Undiscovered SF.
Yes.
And if you want to check out the event for yourself, head over to undiscoveredsf.com to find a future event. From San Francisco, California, I'm Austin Castro.
And I'm Kelly DeLeon.
For Tayo.
We'll see you next time.
Hey, what's up, Tayo fam? I'm Austin Castro, and today we are hanging out here at Silicon Valley Comic Con. As a huge pop culture fan, I'm so excited to explore everything this convention has to offer, and we're going to be taking you guys alongside with us.
I'm Princess Peach. In Super Smash Bros. She has the black and gold variant. It took about a month of patchwork sewing by hand.
And I'm Ronin from Avengers Endgame. I love Hawkeye in general, and when I found out he was going to be Ronin for the first part of Avengers Endgame, I was like, I'm doing his outfit. I've just been into comics and comic book characters, and now I'm reamassing my comic book collection.
So I'm dressed as Wave. Her real name is Pearl Pangan, and she's one of the first female Filipino Marvel characters. I think it's really important to have Asian representation, specifically Filipino representation in the media, so I thought it was really cool.
The higher you are up on the card, the better you get to know Vince McMahon, and the more you get to know yourself and grow into that character.
Yeah, it was brutal. We all bought pellet guns. We were just shooting each other just to feel something. And I thought, I've got to hunker down and figure out what this job is.
You know, these cosplayers are absolutely phenomenal, and while I may not be on their level, I still want to dress up. So let's go take a visit over to our TAYOSAURUS REX. Is this what it's like to be Mickey at Disneyland?
Can I get a picture?
Yeah, let's do it. I don't know where I'm going. Hi. Fine. Yeah.
You want to get a picture?
No. What an awesome weekend we had here at Silicon Valley Comic Con. Between the expo hall, the celebrity guests, and of course the cosplayers, there's something here for everyone to check out. If you want to find out more, you can head over to svcomiccon.com and check out next year's event. From the San Jose Convention Center, I'm Austin Castro for Tile.
Tell me, you mentioned a little bit about the application process being straightforward. So for whatever this is worth, tell me what you like best or worst about the application process.
I think overall, the application process was pretty straightforward. It did a great job of outlining exactly what we needed. I thought it was pretty easy because I know with like a lot of scholarship applications, like they require like 2 or 3 letters of recommendation and so many different things, but I thought the requirements for this were very straightforward. I was lucky enough to get one of my professors, Rosemary Orozco, who is a professor at San Francisco State, but also a meteorologist at KTVU. She's pretty much been like a mentor to me, and she's been helping me so much in virtually every aspect of getting into broadcast news. She was kind enough to help me out with my letter of recommendation. I think in terms of the upload process, it was pretty straightforward, getting together all of these pieces. And for me, I think a big thing was also just being able to see the scholarship winners from the years past, because I think that was a big help in terms of trying to figure out, okay, here are the scholarship winners and their works and what got them to win the scholarship. And so I was able to look at that as an example for what I wanted to submit for this scholarship application.
What's up, everyone? I'm Kelly DeLeon.
And I'm Austin Castro. Today we are giving you a behind-the-scenes look at an exclusive performance with Inigo Pascual, Jeremy Passion, and Gabe Bonduk.
And we're gonna be front and center, and you guys are gonna be right next to us.
I've always wanted to collab with them. Back when I was studying here in the States, my cousin was supposed to set up a collab with Jeremy Passion. At the time, I turned it down because I was not confident enough. I felt like I could not keep up with this guy. You know, like this guy's like a legend to me. I've been a fan since I was a kid. You know, every time I'd meet my childhood idols, I tell them I used to watch you as a kid growing up, even till today. And I'd say like they're the OGs, you know, of YouTube. And like, when I met Gabe, Jeremy, I can't believe that I actually am, you know, doing a collaboration or even just meeting them. It's a dream come true for me to be able to meet them and also to sing my own songs and also sing their own songs.
I think they're just gonna see three people that just love music, 3 Filipinos, you know, that just have created and have done something in their life as musicians and songwriters, and being able to create kind of a cool experience for people.
Fellow Filipino artists that were, you know, chasing the dream, we all started kind of collaborating, and that's the amazing thing about Filipino culture. We just love to celebrate each other.
All right, you guys, so we're at the TFC studio right now. Gabe, Jeremy, and Inigo are right behind us, and they're getting ready to perform their collaboration.
We are super stoked. I have to say, they sounded amazing in rehearsal, so I can tell this is gonna be a pretty fantastic show.
Like a tall glass of lemonade when it's burning out on summer days. She's exactly what I need. Catching feelings, you're the one for me. You're the one, you're the one.
So I I love the fact that we're able to collaborate and connect with other Filipino artists, whether born in the Philippines or born abroad, you know, being here in the States. I think it's very important to love our roots and to really appreciate the music that we create together.
We hope you guys enjoyed the behind-the-scenes look of Catching One Lemonade.
We had an absolute blast watching that performance and, of course, bringing you alongside with us.
Until next time, I'm Kelly DeLeon.
I'm Austin Castro.
For Tayo.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Hey y'all, I'm Nika here with my fellow Tayo co-host,
Austin.
And we're taking Tayo all the way here in Sacramento to visit Joe from Boy's Bakery.
And we are super excited to try all of his tasty treats.
So let's check it out.
I was trying to introduce and bring Swedish pastries to Sacramento. I thought it was something new, something that would catch people's attention, and it did. So I introduced the fika bun to Sacramento. It's most similar to a cinnamon roll in the sense that it's a sweet bread. But what makes it distinct is really the technique of making the dough and then also braiding it. I introduced the ube bun. So it's the ube fika bun with coconut. More and more at my pop-ups, I started seeing more Filipinos and just kind of more of the Asian community, and it's really cool. It's this really cool blend of a Swedish style pastry with the flavors of my childhood.
So everything looks delicious, everything is prepared. It's not even put together yet, but I'm already excited. So take us through.
Yeah, sure.
Process.
So this is the dough for the fika bun. Okay. This has been rising for 45 minutes. It's a sweet yeast bread. For what we're doing today, we have the ube filling. So ube, coconut, condensed milk, like your traditional ube filling. And so what we're going to do is we're going to roll this out, spread the filling, and then do the Swedish knot. One batch like this, I usually take about 2 hours. Hold it, and that'll be the center of the bun, and then just spiral it around, like a snail.
Okay.
And then just tuck all the other pieces underneath, and it'll be golden. It'll look like a rose. There. Make fika buns.
Yes. Perfect. Yes. I will say you make it look a lot easier.
Yeah.
The push to introduce Filipino flavors and Filipino foods really came from my family, and that sense of making them proud, that desire to want to connect them to what I was doing for the public. When I'm making a ube fika bun or I'm making babinka, I love sharing it with the public, but it's really to go back to my lolo and say, hey, look what I'm doing.
A big thank you to Joe from Boy's Bakery for having us here today.
And Joe, where can we find these delicious fika buns and all the other tasty treats that you have?
Yeah, the fika buns are at Milka every day. It's at 15th and G, downtown Sacramento. Fika buns and babinka every day.
Perfect, we'll definitely check that out.
Yes, we definitely will. And from Sacramento, California, I'm Austin.
And I'm Nika.
For Tayo.
Is there anything else you'd like to say, Austin?
Yeah, so kind of going back to what 2020 has been. I mean, we have this pandemic and the wildfires. 2020 has been a roller coaster of the year, but I think for me, a big thing is just to remind myself that to keep pushing and just to keep working towards my ultimate goal, which is to become a news reporter. As I approach the tail end of my time at San Francisco State, for me, I am still trying to build up my reel. I'm heavily involved in my news reporting class, soon to be our state of events news broadcast on campus. And I am so passionate about news. Just recently in July, I actually got the opportunity to start working for KPIX as a production assistant. So I'm so fortunate to get to be in the newsroom, getting to see how all of this comes together and really just kind of like see what I want to do. And I think being in the newsroom, getting to help our anchors, producers, directors, writers, assignment editors in that capacity is something that's very new to me. So although being on Zoom for basically all of my classes at San Francisco State isn't the best opportunity, I take a lot of pride and joy in taking what I'm learning in school, whether that's news writing, news reporting, media performance, everything relating to broadcast news, and applying that in the newsroom in the KPIX as a production assistant for KPIX. It was really exciting to me to be able to showcase my own work and really hone in on the reason why I got into broadcast journalism to begin with. But I think more so than now, like I previously stated, like 2020 and COVID with everything going on is very challenging. So before the pandemic, I live in Modesto, California, out here in the Valley, but I was attending San Francisco State because I couldn't afford to like move on to campus or anywhere closer. So I found myself commuting 3 days a week at the early morning hours, basically taking about 4 or 5 hours round trip, just trying to get to and from school. And so even though now we're on Zoom, like I think it also, I'm still kind of commuting as much to be a production assistant at KPIX. But again, going back to the question, in terms of how important the scholarship is, I think it is absolutely great, especially to make the connections, to showcase our work, and just to receive recognition for everything that we've done and basically why we love broadcast journalism as a whole.
Any scholarship winner, I'm going to look at real carefully and keep my eyes on. So congratulations again.
Thank you so much. It's a big honor to be talking to all of you, but also just for the scholarship winner. I'm telling you, I'm saying, like, me and my family, we flipped out when we got the email. We celebrated, and we could not be more excited. It's definitely one of the biggest highlights of the year. So thank you so much for the scholarship.
The $3,000 Peter J. Marino Jr. Memorial Production Scholarship goes to Ido Bartana, San Francisco State University. Ido, tell me about your winning scholarship entry this year.
The scholarship entry was an interesting way to explore what I've been through in my journey up until now. It's just at a time when I transferred from community college to San Francisco State to the Becca department as well, like Austin. And it's been, it helped me really reevaluate what I've been through, what I've done, and what I learned in multimedia in the past. So it helped me really think and kind of reroute myself on what I want to do and really say it to myself clearly and identify what are the things that I'm interested in. And also putting together finding the best work that I've done and putting it as an example, I think was really a good thing to see how much I have achieved in the 2 years in community college.
I'm Suzanne Lake, and I'm a painter. I live in Berkeley, California right now. After 40 years, I'm moving back to New York City, back to Brooklyn actually, and I have a huge amount of work. And my friends, Mike and Ursula and Catherine, said, we want to have a show for you. At first I said, oh, I can't do that, I'm too busy. But they came and just took all my paintings out of the end of the hallway and brought them down here, and we hung them up. And it wasn't really something I decided, but it's really great for me, and I really appreciate what they did to get to see them all hanging over 40 years worth of painting. It's funny because sometimes individual paintings I look at and I think, oh, that's not very good, or that's not very good. But then to see them all together as a body of work, I think that it's all of a piece. It feels very good to see it all up. There are some paintings that I am not selling, and I can't sell them. And that's not necessarily that they're the best paintings, but they're paintings that bring back memories for me. So this painting I was thinking wasn't very good, and I was going to sell it for probably, I don't know, for the, cheap. It was painted in 1982. This was my husband's hat. It was in our dining room, and we had this view out the window of this camphor tree. And I was so young, and my husband and I were both so young, and we had a beautiful young daughter, and I was painting, and it makes me feel that time all over again. I just found a little spot I really like. It's right here. I like that little spot in that painting. Painting and artwork, maybe any kind of artwork, is a record of your time, a record of your existence. And you've put it in there, and you've put it in there in paint and whatever material you've used, and there it is, concrete, a record of your existence. And so I can't part with those paintings. Thanks for that question, Ito.
Tell me, what does this scholarship mean? What does this scholarship mean to you?
This scholarship really means a lot. It's, first of all, it's the recognition that my work has been better than I thought it was, better than I realized, and it really gives me hope that I'm on the right track and I'm doing what I like, what I love, and what I'm really passionate about. Because without that, I wouldn't be able to really go forward and do it seriously. So the recognition really it means a lot to me, gives a lot of confidence. And also, the money that comes with it really, it helps as a student, especially at this time that, work has been reduced. So it's really helpful to continue and go and pursue that career in multimedia.
And going along with that, how important to you are scholarship opportunities like this one?
Scholarship opportunities in this field in particular, that a lot of it is independent. Scholarships are extremely important because it really lets me go and do projects that are important to me that otherwise I wouldn't be able to do. It gives me the freedom to pursue creative paths that I wouldn't be able to do that freely with ties to organizations and to other people.
And talking about, I guess you were kind of talking about applying that process and getting notified. How do you like the process? And was there any good or bad parts of the application process to this scholarship?
The process was pretty simple and pretty clear. What are the requirements? I thought that the question for the essay of just, to me, it really fit perfectly to where I am in my journey now. Just thinking of what I've achieved and where I'm trying to go. and accompany that with the examples of videos and giving the opportunity to show different things I've done and how they come together to go to where I want to go. Those all together, I think, give a complete idea of what I do, who I am, and my qualities. And I think that it really helps individuals like myself to really stand out.
Lose something? First crash of the night? Weird. You know, even the few times I've been here, I always see you. How often do you play?
Whenever I feel like it, I guess.
So what? Every day?
Do you want to play a game?
Nah. Gotta get out of here. No more scratching. Only sinking.
I'll play you, kid. Thanks, old man. Some other time.
This is the tennis club, where only the best play their best. No one is available to take your call at this time. Please leave a message.
Hi, my name is Joaquin. I'm calling because I was wondering how fit you need people to be in order to join your club. As far as my experience goes, when I was 11, I was in this tennis camp, and I got second place in the tournament there. If I'm being honest, I'm not calling because I want to join to play tennis. And now that I'm talking, I don't even think I could afford to sign up. But I don't think I would have realized that if I hadn't called. So, bye. I'll be there tomorrow. Bye.
Most of the works that I submitted were things that I did outside of school. I started doing a lot of video and producing documentaries outside of school assignments. One of the projects I did started as a school assignment, but then moved on and became one. It was showcased in a film festival in LA, the documentary short film festival, and it was about the experience that the Cambodian community had in Oakland after immigrating to the U.S. as refugees from the Khmer Rouge. This short documentary I made was really important to me because the experience of refugees and having the U.S. take refugees in, but then not really following through. I think you can see it with a lot of immigrant communities. And as a Jewish person myself, growing up with the shadow of the Holocaust, I could really relate to that experience and, the Cambodian community not having that sanctuary that Jewish people have in Israel. I think it really touched me. And so making that short piece, I thought was, I think it's really important for people to think about that and how, where do those people go? They survived that whole horror, the killing fields of the genocide, and now what? So providing sanctuary, it's not about just bringing them to a safe country. You have to follow through with that and really help them overcome, because it stays for generations, and it's really the example you see in the Cambodian community.
My parents told me that my dad did commit a crime because they knew that it was going to impact our future. And I barely knew that he was an immigrant or anything. All I knew was he carried a green card and he had to do check-ins and everything. once it was happening, my mother actually started telling me more information about what he was going through and how my stepfather was able to be deported.
I don't think they understood what deportation is until it happened to us. We never talked about it. But with Motor Guard and Choo Choo, they understood more because I brought them everywhere. The other kids, they're like, where's Daddy? Kind of ignored it for the first couple hours, but after like the night came, when's Daddy coming home? Oh, he went fishing with your uncle in Philadelphia. He'll be back in a few weeks. I didn't know what to say.
Knowing that my stepfather was going to be detained and might be deported, I did a few more things around the house, and it's just like things that he would probably do. And my mom did like 5 times more than what she normally did. A lot of my grades did drop when he was gone, and I just missed, just talking to him in general.
I was detained in ICE detention for around approximately 3 months. I've been gone quite some time.
One day, I had a phone call from the school, my son's school, that he told the teacher, his dad died. So I didn't really know what to do. And that's when Elijah said, I think we need to tell the kids the truth. Let's pull everybody together. Junior was kind of mad at me when I did tell him the truth. He said all kind of bad things, like he don't want to see his dad. And I couldn't talk anymore. Like he now thinks his dad is a criminal. They never seen their dad do anything bad. So with me telling them their dad did something wrong, I don't know how to explain it. If he was deported, I think it would really kill them. It would really hurt them that I lied, and he would be this criminal that they never knew of, and I would be this big time liar. And now I don't like both of my parents.
He'll come back.
I feel really happy, like I'm overwhelmed. It's like, it still doesn't feel real that he's here. Like, I feel like this is just a dream, but...
Ido, do you have anything else to say?
Yes, I do. I think that just at this year in particular, the media, the power of media and video work in general is really standing out even more than before. And the fact that everyone have access to producing content and to use media to elevate their voice, I think is really great. But it's also, there's a difference between the amateur work and what everyone has access to, and it takes so much more to take it to the next level. And this is why I'm really grateful for this scholarship, because it enables me to maybe take it to the next step and make my stuff a little higher quality.
The $3,000 Sheldon Shelley Faye Memorial Videography Scholarship goes to James L. Clark, City College of San Francisco. James, tell me about your winning entry this year.
Yeah, it's actually been a pretty interesting experience. I have a a pretty broad career, and I spent 30 years as a medic, deployed all over the world in some of the worst conditions you can possibly imagine. And in that experience, working with a variety of people from indigenous to large cities, places like Haiti and Japan and so forth and so on, you really start to understand that travel plays a real key component in helping us to lift out of our paradigm. We tend to be, especially in the United States, quite isolationist to a degree. Many people in the United States don't even have a passport. And so the consequences of that is that we become insular and we have less experiential knowledge of other cultures. And so when I had this opportunity to put together a video for one of my classes, I was trying to think of something that I could do that would be impactful and also give people a taste of other cultures, other locations, that kind of thing. And something exciting too, because it's hard to be able to share those kind of things without turning people off. And so the question becomes, how do you engage them? And so in this case, I happen to be a scuba dive instructor. I actually teach leadership programs part-time for fun. And so I teach dive masters and instructors and so forth and so on. And so one of the things I thought was, well, why not expose somebody to somewhere really pretty, and also have an undercurrent message or an underpinning message of value. And so I volunteer with Dive Mentor, which is a nonprofit, a 501c3, and we teach things like coral conservation and marine ecology, and teach people about the things that we do that impacts society in ways that you can't imagine. The oceans are such a critical element to the world's survival. We often don't think about what's going on below the water. And so, it's teeming with sea life. And in some communities, coral in particular, are incredibly important for communities above water to thrive and survive. There are whole communities that base their entire life and their economy, their social economic situation on what's below. And when those coral reefs start to die, it impacts us in ways that most people don't really understand. And in my view, as a scuba diver, we're some of the best possible ambassadors for the ocean because we see what's going on below. We see trash and things that happen to the coral with global warming and that kind of thing. And so we wanted to put together something that was exciting and showed the leadership programs that are available, but also expose people to the underwater world, which is what the underpinning message was, if you will. I really want to talk about marine conservation. And so that's really what it was. It was very exciting to put two videos. One was on a instructor program and one was on a dive master program, which is a management and leadership program for being able to, teach people how to scuba dive and be involved in that industry.
On my own, but I don't know why you hit the road, but you don't realize I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to call me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to call me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't look back. I don't know why she told me it's not your fault, but you don't realize that I never wonder what's the truth in your eyes. There's a light that makes me blush. I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to call me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't
James, what did the scholarship mean to you?
So for me as a mature student, sort of coming back and honing some new skills and developing some new skills and learning from my contemporaries and from the academic staff was really an excellent experience. The income side of it, the actual scholarship that you get is, well, it serves a couple purposes. Obviously, there's the financial side, which I'm actually investing in equipment and a set that we're building for a show that we're going to do. And also, it gives you a bit of recognition, if you will, that you're on the right track, you're on the right path, that the things that you're actually trying to accomplish are starting to impact people and they're getting noticed. And that's really important because it helps you, these little tiny growth things help you lead to the next stage, to the next stage. And in that process, it's just the best thing that you can do if you're going to want to move forward.
James, is there anything else you'd like to say?
You know, I really would encourage people to participate. I'm a little bit older than some people that tend to go back to school. We've got a couple candidates here, recipients that are mature adults, I guess you could say. I like to think of myself as mature. And this is really neat opportunity. So no matter where you are in life, always pursue your goals, go after things that are important to you. And this is a neat opportunity. I think probably one of the most important things I could do as a recipient is show my gratitude and the thanks that I have to the National Television Academy. Myself, and I'm sure the other recipients feel the same way, that this is one of those rare instances where you get to participate in something that's much bigger than yourself. And the National Television Academy provides these opportunities for students like myself and the other recipients. And it really has an impact on you that it's hard to articulate. So I just want to say thank you to you guys.
The $3,000 Miss Nancy Best Memorial Graduate Production Scholarship goes to Aurora Brockman, Stanford University. Aurora, congratulations for winning your scholarship.
Thank you so much.
Can you tell me about your entry?
Yeah, absolutely. So I entered 2 different recent films of mine that were both made within the last year. I'm an MFA student in documentary film at Stanford right now. So these are both films that I made in my first year of my MFA. And the first film is a short 16 millimeter black and white doc shot on a Bolex camera. That's about a young child who's gender expansive, meaning that they don't identify as a boy or a girl. They identify as being non-binary, and it's about they're recounting a memory of the time they told their mother that they weren't a girl for the first time.
I'm trying to figure out how to put this in words.
Take your time.
We had that little talk and I said, I've been hiding this for a long time. And you said, okay. And you accepted it. I feel like one of the best times you ever really understood me and my gender was that very first evening, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It was so hard keeping that secret. I never intended to tell you. I felt like I shouldn't. I mean, even I was doubtful. I'm just a little kid. How would I know? And then my brain went and took over and said, you're doing this. And I went ahead and said it. And I didn't mean to tell you, but now I'm so glad I did. do I really care what everybody thinks?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Everybody on this earth, every human being, cares at least one tiny thing about what people think about it.
Yeah.
But if you still have that heavy weight of caring about it too much, then it will stop you from being who you are.
Yeah.
I thought I wasn't ready. Because it was kind of overwhelming to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about it, I'm starting to feel overwhelmed again. Because I'm just feeling that come back to me.
Big push. Big push.
Push. Here's me. It's probably the best memory I have. Telling you I'm not a girl for the first time, but it's probably the worst too, because that was so hard for me.
I'm sorry it was hard. Hey.
That was a beautiful experience making that film. They're all kids that live in the Bay Area. They're not actors. It wasn't scripted or anything. It was all just sort of like a beautiful, spontaneous, sincere conversation that I was able to capture. And then my second entry was another short documentary called Club Quarantine, which I made obviously during this COVID time we're in. And it's about a virtual queer dance party that takes place on Zoom every single night. It's been happening since the beginning of the lockdowns, and hundreds up to 1,000 people every night from all around the world join this Zoom party, and they all dance together. And I was really fortunate that the film was picked up by the New York Times Op Docs and was released by the New York Times about 2 weeks ago now. And that was also a really fun, bizarre experience. I kind of became immersed in this world for a couple of months as all of us were stuck inside. And it was like a very cathartic experience to be able to sort of communally like grieve and also sort of celebrate what we've been able to create, even though we're all stuck in our homes. So I'm really grateful that you all enjoyed the films and that you're having me here. So thank you so much.
Wow. 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 I also might sext someone from Berlin. Really successful Zoom call. No, not yet. But like he was private messaging me in the Zoom, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, you're so cute. I love you. Like, what's your IG?" Some guy from Berlin. Okay, so like I'm at the Zoom party.
where do you plan on going? What do you plan on doing in the next few years?
Ooh, good question. Okay. Especially with COVID, it's always hard to say now, but I am now in my second year of my MFA at Stanford, and it's a 2-year program. So this is my final year, and I'm beginning to work on my thesis film, which is like a longer documentary film piece. And I'm also currently a Sundance Ignite Fellow, and the Sundance Ignite program is like this Sundance program for emerging filmmakers, and they're helping me develop a feature film. So it's my hope that I can, after I graduate this year, I'll be able to begin working on my first feature documentary and then hopefully put that out in the world. But the main goal is just to be able to be a director and to be able to make my own work and, be able to make that financially viable too. But ideally, being a director and continuing to make my own films, and maybe at some point forming a documentary production company with other women and people of color and queer people, where we can sort of tell stories from our own communities.
That's great. And thanks for letting us know that. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
The most important thing I think we can do is like speak about our own experiences. I think I usually make films from a place that they're inspired from a place of, like wanting to see myself represented on screen and wanting to see stories that are resonant in my own life. And so I would say, continue to do that work and continue to ask yourself, like, what stories are important to you and that you feel like you have the ability to tell best, and never doubt your own abilities. Even for something like this, like, put yourself out there and apply. The worst someone can say is no, for sure. But just to continue to tell stories that resonate with you and that you feel like are important.
The $3,000 Linda Gianchini Professional Development Scholarship goes to Sabare Mohammed Kashi, Berkeley City College. So tell me, Sabare, about your winning entry, your scholarship this year.
I already have a degree in film, and I also have a PhD actually in art. I decided to go back to Berkeley City College to kind of really get back on the basics of filmmaking and multimedia, and just really upgrade my skills. I went to just take one class, and I decided to actually stay for 2 years because I realized it's so important to kind of really everything that I had learned as theory, and then I had put it in practice, just go back and learn it again, in both in theory and practice. So I entered 2 projects of myself for this scholarship. One is a short documentary that I did in collaboration with Oakland Mayor's Office of Housing Security. So it was about promoting additional dwelling units. And I focused on a video portrait of an African-American elderly woman who lives in North Oakland, and her struggle to upgrade her additional dwelling unit so she can remain in her house and stabilize her community in Oakland.
Being a homeowner at 74, I can feel stuck.
These stairs, be careful. I mean, they were just collapsing. Right there, that's coming apart there. And the wood, even the framing. I mean, the biggest fear I have is to rent it and it not be legal in the sense of not up to code or standard. I know that possibly codes have upgraded. There has been a change in the neighborhood. There's a lot of young non-Black families. Maybe I can count now how many Black families on the block here. And it was only Blacks at one point. My granddaughter just, had to pay my property taxes, and it shouldn't be like that at all for me to have access to a property that needs to be utilized and not have any avenue or any degree of funds to make that happen. I don't think it's fair. I'm Oakland.
My second entry is a feature personal documentary that I've been working on for many years. It's about finding home between Iran and America. It also really touches on a lot of like my story of going back home after my mother passed, and sort of my struggle with my father, and trying to kind of reconcile with him after so many years of being away from home.
Hello everyone, my name is Sabere Kashi. I'm a documentary filmmaker and I'm originally from Iran. And I live and shelter in place in Golden Gate Co-housing in Oakland, California. So this housing consists of 2 houses. Let me show you the apartment.
As COVID-19 is changing our lives forever, I'm trying to cultivate a home and family in the community that strives to make the world a better place.
This is my room. It's a very nice room. I live and work here.
So what are you guys doing today?
Okay, we're gonna see what they're doing today.
We're trying to be a sustainable community. We value, diversity.
We have to continue to be a living proof that people from all over can work together and make a positive difference.
While we are going through our ebbs and flows, given the unforeseeable circumstances, I think about the lessons that I learned in my 12-year journey pre-COVID, as I wandered between Iran and America, searching for a true home.
من نه اونجا زندگی کردم، ندیدم حتی کانادا و استرالیا رو، ولی برای من اونجا و جفتش خارج فرقی واقعا نمیکنه. غربه اون چیزهایی هم که اینجا ندارم دنبالش هستم قطعا اون جفت جاها هست.
من 7 سال اونجا دیگه تجربه که دارم اینه که یه چیزایی رو آدم مثلا خب خیلی دلش می‌خواسته همیشه که اتفاق بیفته براش، اینا اونجا بود اتفاق میفته. از این نظر خیلی خوبه. ولی بعد از یه مدتی یه چیزای دیگه‌ای برای آدم مهم میشه.
برای وقتی میری یه جایی باید همیشه یادش باشه که به خاطر چی رفته، دنبال چه چیزایی بوده.
Being the surprised baby of my mother, I received lots of love from her. I had 4 older siblings. I was sometimes the center of attention in my family, but not always for the good reasons. We lived in a 3-story apartment that my father owned in downtown Tehran. I lived on the 3rd floor with my aging parents and often felt bored and found refuge in books. My sister and my brother lived on the 1st and 2nd floors with their families. I loved our family parties and gatherings and playing with my nieces and nephews, though at times didn't feel totally included. My biggest joy was our picnics at the foothills of Alborz Mountains and our annual vacation trips to Caspian seashores. At the age of 5, I experienced the 1979 revolution that turned everything upside down. Soon after, Iran became an underdog when Saddam Hussein invaded us with the support of Americans, Soviets, Europe, and most of the Arab countries. The memories of the 8 years of tragic war will never leave me. As I was coming of age, I became aware of my disadvantages as a woman in my culture and society. American movies inspired me to be free to be who I am and pursue my own destiny. Despite my siblings' disapproval, I decided to study cinema and became the top student in the national entrance exam to art universities, for which my picture was printed in newspapers. Through college years, I published film articles and made short films. I had a hunger to explore the world and expand my horizons beyond my family and culture. I applied for an immigration visa to Canada and obtained it after 4 years. On the night of my departure, my mother was heartbroken. My father refused to say goodbye to me. Standing on my own feet and finding my way in a new country, culture, and language was the hardest challenge that I had ever experienced. But I also experienced freedom and independence, and the pride of having a desirable career in a faraway land. I was single and lonely in Canada when I got a marriage proposal from an Iranian-American acquaintance that I had met in Iran. When I landed in the San Francisco airport, I thought I was going to reach my dream of living happily ever after in my dream life. My husband and I were not able to connect emotionally. After 9 months, we filed for divorce. The divorce hit me hard. I felt disillusioned about everything that I was urged to pursue in life. I wanted to live a life that I truly desired, but I didn't know what it was. I figured to leave out the things that I didn't want and wait for the universe to show me the way. San Francisco felt like a place that I belonged. I loved its beautiful landscapes, progressive politics, diverse culture, and its civil and environmental justice movements. But I was worried about the rising tensions between Iran and the United States. People were talking about the possibility of a war.
Investments in Iran are being reduced to a trickle. The stock market has plummeted. There's increased pain being felt in Iran. Now is the time to keep that pressure up, ratchet it up.
The relationship between the United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran is volatile. I want to meet Iranian mothers in their homes before our sons meet on the battlefield.
I didn't even know that.
While editing and co-writing a PBS documentary about Iran, I got a couple of grants to develop a documentary film that gave a deeper understanding of Iran to American audiences. I had no idea what Americans really thought about Iran. So I figured to go out on the streets with a camera and ask.
If you are a typical American, what do you think about Iran?
It depends on where you're from. You might have a lot of distrust for that part of the world because a lot of the media here talks a lot about aggression from Iran. And they don't know the roots of the aggression.
So you think that exists in American mind anyway? That's something that people have anyway.
Let's remember George Bush, the axis of evil. It's like axis of evil. It's like you put that on the news enough time, people who only watch TV, that's all they know. So it's dangerous.
Searching for a place to live, I moved to Newton House, a redwood mansion turned into a 9-housemate cooperative. Cooperative living, shared meals, bi-weekly meetings, shore wheel, and house parties put together the home that I was looking for. I felt I finally had a chance to have a warm and vibrant family. On the top of it, I could reach my dream of playing and exploring the world with siblings my age, without being pushed back or left out.
So I want to welcome everyone to the circle of appreciation for Sabere. Let's hear it for Sabere!
This kind of magical thing happened when you came to the house, which is all of a sudden it's like we had turned from a culture of like individualism into like having a house mother who was like this nurturer and kind of just deeply caring presence that you cared about and took interest in each individual that was in the house, and also fought for us to connect with each other by creating space for that to happen. So you would create an opportunity to celebrate something together, or to share something together, like a meal or a ritual.
I appreciate so much the information that you share about your home country, Iran, because Iran is a country that's very demonized in the Western media. And so I know not to trust what I hear, but that doesn't fill the gap of what is the information, what are the people like there? What is it like to live there? What is it like for women there? And so much of that you bring and you share it so freely. So I just really have great appreciation for you opening yourself like a book to us to understand, what it means to be an immigrant, and in particular from Iran. So thank you.
بیا اینم صابره. صابره.
سلام آقا جون.
چطوری تو؟
خوبم. حالش این یه سری تومارهای شگون عروسا نه؟ عروس هم و تارو کنه. شکلات خالص همینه.
توش ویسکیه.
بابا اونایی که توش ویسکیه. چرا اذیتش می‌کنه؟
خب چشمت روشن.
چشمت دلت روشن.
دختر خانم دومه.
آره والا. اینجا بشین اینجا.
دوباره میذاری یه وقتی یه دفعه بعد ما مردیم دیگه تموم شد. همین یه بار هستیم ما تو بیاییم ما.
هیچ کی از فرداش خبر نداره.
It was only a couple of months into my moving to Newton House that I heard the news.
خواستم بهت بگم مادر عزیزمون از دست دادیم.
The passing of my mother left me in a deep shock. As it is custom in Iran, her body was buried right away. We organized a small ceremony for her at Newton with some friends. It took me a year to manage my work, sublet my room, and get ready to go to Iran to stay with my father for 6 months. I didn't want to lose the chance that I had lost with my mother.
مامان از یه بابت خودش راحت شد. اون دیگه نمیتونست راه بره. 10 دفعه اینجا تو این خیابون خورد زمین.
آره یادم.
دیگه حالش خیلی خراب شده بود. تو کلام میخوام حقیقتاً وجداناً حرف راست بزنی. میخوام ببینم میخوای بمونی تو این ایران یا دوباره میخوای بری؟
میخوام بمونم.
حقیقت ببرم از فرودگاه ببینم میتونم بذارم سر کار.
کار دارم آقا جون. کار دارم که اومدم.
همین تهران؟
آره.
همین دلغک بازی؟
دلغک بازی چیه؟
فیلم دلغک بازیه دیگه چیه؟ هنره؟ صنعته؟
درس میخوام بدم.
درس بدی؟ با امید خدا.
آره میمونه آقا جون خیالتون راحت. میخواد بمونه.
خب
What are your plans? What are you going to be doing, would you think, in the next several years?
I am interested in the intersection of personal stories of underrepresented people and communities in nonfiction media, and like how can that be utilized to kind of for social change. like, for example, I'm in conversation with the city of Oakland to how to use a documentary that I made to create new conversations about gentrification and about underrepresented communities in the city and how to stabilize them. And also, like my own film, I'm very interested in, first of all, I want to complete that, and it's a huge undertaking on a personal level and on a professional level. But I'm also interested in using it in creating like dialogue and conversations between cultures that really are estranged from each other and don't really understand each other that well.
Excellent. Well, we need more of that. Thank you for that. What do you like best about or worst about the application process?
I really like the personal statement part. And it was really the first time that I was able to actually integrate my studies and school experience and all my experience, you know, like in Iran, because I actually was a film critic in Iran. I was publishing in film magazines, and I also had made films, and also, you know, in Canada and in the United States. And like really bringing all of that in one personal statement and all of my other experiences, it really felt like kind of like a liberating experience of like an expression of who I am and what I do. And I also am very thankful to, because I kind of learned about it kind of late, and I'm thankful to both my teachers at the Berkeley City College to kind of really come around and help me with the, you know, like writing a letter and being a reference, and also with Daryl to kind of be very prompt in answering any questions they had, you know, with uploading the videos and how to apply. So overall, it was a good experience.
So Sabare, what did this scholarship mean to you?
The scholarship really means a lot to me, you know, as an immigrant who, you know, I have really struggled, you know, with, you know, survival, with language, and really being able to get a recognition from a very, you know, distinguished organization. For me, it really felt really like, you know, just felt good, felt refreshing. I shared it on my personal Facebook account, and I got over 600 likes and, you know, over 200 comments. That was also like amazing. So I really, I feel like really it means a lot to me.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Ido, Austin, James, Aurora, and Sabare. The Education Committee and I congratulate these deserving students. If you'd like to donate to our scholarship program, please go to mesf.tv and click on the student navigation bar. You can view the full video entries on our website. Just click Students. Thank you very much.